When I ask my pupils what they're after from their golf lesson, the most common answer is consistency. Today we're going to be discussing that. Make sure you check out this video.
Brilliant.
Welcome back to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today in my indoor studio, and today I'm joined by a good friend, Chris Ryan. Chris's info is just going to come along the bottom of the screen. Obviously has a huge YouTube channel that you need to check out, as well as his social media info. So Chris is going to help me in today's video. We're going to be talking about gaining consistency. I think when we're both golf coaches, obviously, and still teach a lot of lessons, and when you ask your pupil what they want, what do they want to gain, the answer is always consistency. Now, this could be a huge video if you go into all the topics here. You know, there's a lot to it. But what I want to highlight is perhaps the two biggest areas you could try and improve. So strike is the number one. Can we get A to hit B? Can we get one ball out the center of the golf club? Because that's going to really help us. And two, face aim at impact. You know, we could talk about angle of attack, we could talk about path, but I really want to highlight two. And Chris is going to help me demonstrate two really good, or three actually really good drills to help this. So we're going to start with strike, hitting the ball out the center of the golf club. Now, Chris, of course, is a good golf pro, hit thousands of shots, so it's not a problem for him, but he's going to show you a couple of great drills to really improve this. Now, the first one is just going to be building a gate. So I just want something simple that you can do on the driving range. So if you can just put the golf club behind the ball there, with two other golf balls, if we can just make a gate where we add them in one side of the golf club, so one towards the toe side, one towards the heel side, if it will stay on the mat here. Something you can simply do on the range. Now, this could be T-pegs if you're not comfortable using golf balls, but make a gate. And of course, you can bring those levels in if you want to bring them tighter and closer together. You can do, but we want to just make a gate with the other golf balls there, and Chris is going to simply be setting up to the middle one, trying to hit the middle one without striking the outside, or with the inside ball, the outside ball at all. So if you can just show us that, you've got a 7-iron there.
I have.
Do you want that a little tighter?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I like this drill because how many golfers do you see who miss the middle and they go, oh, that didn't feel right. And you go, was that heel or toe? And they go, I'm not sure. Whereas the ball's going to move here that I hit. So it tells me actually which.
Absolutely. So, I mean, obviously if Chris approaches on the wrong path here, so if he's going to get a toe strike on this, he's also going to hit that inner golf ball and vice versa. So go ahead and hit me one there. Good. Oh, I was looking for the ball flight on the screen. The problem is we're not going to see it, but the aim of the game here is, can he strike that inner one, miss the outer balls, which clearly did. Now, in a slight adaptation of that, a skill-based exercise, and we'd perhaps get them in a little bit tighter here, but if Chris simply set up to the middle one, could he strike the inner ball? Could he set up to the middle one and strike the outer ball? So it's a skill acquisition here. So he's not thinking perhaps technique, he's just actually trying to get, again, the club back to the golf ball. So if you can show us that one, just the two shots. If you set up to the middle one, strike the inner one, set up to the middle and strike the outer golf ball. Brilliant.
Okay, now I'm just going to move that a little further away because I'm worried about it hitting the So outer ball now.
Yep. Now you might, that was the hardest strike, I guess. The inner ball there, a little bit easier with your arms slightly closer to your body. Obviously what Chris had to do is get his arms further away, but the skill there is getting A to B, getting club on the back of the golf ball.
So I really like that because as a junior golfer, I'd be kind of doing lots of those things. When I go to the range with your mates, you kind of have a bit of fun and you mess around a bit and you just explore all these ideas, and you're effectively just learning how to make the centre of the golf club line up with the back of the ball, and you're not thinking technical, you're just kind of seeing the ball and reacting, and it's a great way to practice.
100%. I think this is something you can definitely take to your range practice. Too many golfers they're taking it very seriously, amateur golfers now, you see on the range, which is great. You know, they've got all the technology and the video cameras out and whatever else. You now even see people taking their own little launch monitors along to the driving range. But, you know, some of your practice needs to be get away from the technical aspects and actually have a little bit of fun. And some of these things that you may think are stupid are actually skill acquisitions. So you can really build up the game here.
And there's going to be times on the course where, you know, you might hit your golf ball here and it's right on the edge of a bunker, and you've just got to stand 100%. A little closer, you know. And this is what I call playing golf.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of just figuring out that, okay, there's going to be situations on the course where I can't have my perfect setup and technique, and I've still got to get the ball on the green.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, because we always have that perfect situation on the range that we don't get on the course. Now, the second part we're going to discuss is going to be controlling face aim. So face aim at impact, where that club face is pointing. That's going to affect the start line of the golf ball. Now, I'm going to be a bit generous for you, or with you here, Chris. That's good. Now, if you can get to hit off turf, or there is turf in front of your range mat, this is going to be really easy. All you need is 2 tour sticks, 2 alignment sticks, and you're just simply going to put them in the ground en route to your target. So we need to have a target in mind. We need to know where we're aiming, which of course is something I would suggest you need on every golf shot. Do not hit a shot unless you know where you're aiming and what you're trying to achieve with this. But what we're going to simply do is put in there a gate, and the gate is for the golf ball to fly through. Now, the great thing with this exercise is you can make this easier or harder depending on the skill level of the golfer. Obviously, they could be wider apart, they can be closer to the golf ball. The further the gate gets away from you and the tighter that gate gets, the harder it's going to be. So this is relatively generous because I've given Chris here all of a foot, 12 inches, so he's not going to miss this one. We might have to move that golf ball in, but if I centre it in the putt-out mat, I think that's pretty centre there. Okay. So all we're looking at is Chris is going to be hitting a couple of shots for us and looking at the start line. Can he start the ball between the 2 alignment sticks? Because we know if he is, he's really controlling that face aim. The stat on where the ball starts with an iron, it's around 80-ish% of the start line is down to face aim at impact, okay? So if Chris can strike the ball out in the middle, control the face aim, he's going to get real control over that ball flight, yeah? Okay. I've done enough talking, you hit me too. Good. Now you might even want your mates on the range, or if you can get your camera behind to look at that. It obviously started between the gate. It was slightly closer to the left-hand stick than the right-hand stick, but you know, hit a number of shots and see how many can you start between the gate. If you're getting 20 out of 20, I would suggest you've got to make that a little bit tougher, a little bit tighter. But that was great. Hit me one more there.
I'd say the one thing I'm thinking here as well is I'm not ever trying to get my golf club to go through that gate. My golf club's actually working around to the left of it, but obviously the ball is going through it. If I do that on a very, very short shot, you know, the ball has gone through, but the golf club has worked.
You can see where this club path has moved to here. And again, that is an issue a lot of golfers have, is they're trying to swing down the target line. It is where the club face points at impact, and the club and ball are in contact for, I don't know the seconds, but it's a lot of noughts before you get to a number. So really, we're talking about controlling impact. That club path, as Chris demonstrated there, is working on a nice arc shape. So I think that exercise, you're going to hit one more?
I'll hit one more.
Okay. Brilliant. That's 3 for 3.
3 for 3. A little left again, I think, maybe that one, but
it was a touch. It was a little on that left side. And again, if you've got a target out there on the range, you're going to be able to see, is that starting left or right of it? And these gates do need to be a little bit tougher for Chris. I hope that video has helped. I'd love you guys to subscribe to my channel. If you hit the little thumbs up to this video, if you found it useful, make sure you share it with other golfers. But subscribing to the channel and hitting the little bell icon just means you get notified every time a new video goes live. Lots of instructional videos, and of course, jump over and check out Chris's as well.